Well, of course, October we know is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but tonight we're highlighting a disease far less common, hemophilia. Hemophilia is a rare bleeding disorder that affects blood clotting. About 33,000 people are affected in this nation. The Hemophilia Foundation of Southern California serves about 3,800 people across 9 counties, and they have been doing so for 70 years. Many of their patients are little ones, like you're seeing here. Rigo Garcia, he is the executive director of that foundation, and he joins me now with more on a big weekend ahead. So we'll tell folks about that in a moment.
Yes.
But let's just start with the basics, because this is not well known. Hemophilia, no. What is it?
Well, hemophilia, one of the biggest things with hemophilia, it's a disease that many times your blood doesn't clot. And so there's different types of bleeding disorders. Hemophilia is one of the ones that's more known and more like the common one. But with that, there's hemophilia A, hemophilia B, there's von Willebrand's, and then there's also platelet disorders, such as Glanzmann's thrombocythemia. So there's a lot of different bleeding disorders that fall under it. Our foundation makes sure that we provide a lot of the services to everyone and anyone that has a bleeding disorder.
And we're seeing these images of this poor little boy here who is obviously suffering from hemophilia.
Right.
So it impacts actually more boys than girls.
Yes, one of the things is that it does impact a lot of boys and girls, but there is a misconception. A lot of times, a lot of women are not diagnosed correctly or misdiagnosed because they might have many of the symptoms that might seem common.
What are some of those symptoms?
Well, for a lot of the symptoms, for a lot of they might be bleeding, bruising, nosebleeds, and whatnot. For women, it's heavy menstrual bleeding that many times it's considered a norm. And so that's one of the reasons that many women are not diagnosed.
Okay, so you've been in existence for 70 years. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
When this was founded 70 years ago, there was very little known, very little medical treatment. So over the 70 years, talk about the impact that you've had.
Yeah, I think one of the things was that we started 70 years ago, 2 moms that got together, you know, their child, it was 2 homeschool children. They got together and provided the support. When we started in 1952, you know, and even if you think of the math, 1952, it's like, Rigo, we're supposed to be 72, not 70, but, you know, we're in Hollywood, so we take a couple of years off. But no, one of the things is that we were established in 1954. And one of the biggest things with that is that we've really grown in the sense in the 70 years where when we first started, we were used more where the families were bringing in donors to do blood donations, and that's how they were able to help with their hemophilia. Nowadays, we've become more of a health education, and we've become an extension of the hemophilia treatment centers, which we have 3 here in Southern California.
Okay, 3 treatment centers here in Southern California, and you kind of owe the Beatles, too. This is a remarkable story. How did the Beatles help elevate your organization?
Yeah, it was so crazy. You know, after coming off of their famous Hollywood Bowl show in 1964. The next day, they hosted a fundraiser for our foundation, the Hemophilia Foundation, and they charged $25 to do a meet and greet for a child and an adult, and it was hosted in the Hollywood Hills, and it was amazing where they raised, I think it was like $10,000 to $15,000, which at the time was a lot from that perspective.
Yeah, well, I mean, money's money, right?
Exactly.
So it's still a lot. And we're trying to do that this weekend. So I'll have the honor of emceeing your 70th anniversary, the gala. It's a big fundraiser coming up this Saturday in Pasadena. What can folks expect there?
I think one of the biggest things at our gala is that we're celebrating our 70th anniversary. So it's going to be a lot of history, a lot of providing awards for people who've made a legacy within the 70 years, but it's intertwining both, which is amazing. I mean, we have a really rich history here in Southern California where the first medication was founded here. You know, recently we had gene therapy, the first gene therapy. It was at one of our treatment centers here in Southern California. So we're a first.
And these images, I love this. You do a lot of services, of course, and there's camps where these patients can go and get to know each other and know that they're not alone.
Yeah, our kids camps are amazing. We're celebrating 45 years in Southern California, 20 years at the Painted Turtle. The Painted Turtle is a camp that is set up for patients with disabilities. And one of the things is that kids could be kids here. That's one of the biggest things where when they're with their parents, you know, it's hard. Parents don't want them to get hurt or whatnot. When they're at camp, they're just having fun. Archery, zip lining, horseback riding, and a kid might get a nosebleed or a bruise. They might sit out. Another kid sits with them. It's normal. So they normalize the whole situation.
Yeah, I love these images on the canoe and the zip liner. The brave kids out there, that's for sure.
Oh, they just want to be kids like everyone else.
Of course, of course. So for more information, you can check out their website. There it is on your screen. It's hemosocal.org, but we have all this on our website, foxla.com. Rigo Garcia of the Hemophilia Foundation of Southern California. Thanks for being here. I'll see you Saturday.
Yes, thank you so much for everything.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you.